Hello, 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 everybody. That was not an echo, by the way. How is everybody doing? Let's see, we've got Tracy, Andrea, Yolandi, Richard, Mimilek. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Looks like Andrea went to go make herbal tea, and Tracy wants to know what's in the herbal tea. And Violet Best 75, hello. I've hit likes and listening. Good stuff. That's good. Yeah, all right. Let's get going. Let's turn this down a bit. Okay, what's everybody been up to? Violet, just in case you have not been here before on a Covenstead, this is just no topic, no specific topic, just whatever you want to talk about. It's a gathering of witches, all it is, with some good music in the background. And hopefully everybody can hear me properly. I'm just going to actually go check my volume again, just in case, because it shouldn't have gone down last week. No, I've lost it. Oh, there it is. Oh, you've been here before. Okay, that's good. Right, so you know what this is about then. That's all right then. Okay, all volumes look good. I am on camera. Okay. Hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties this week, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's always something that happens. Right, what does everybody want to talk about? I suppose I should, I can fill you in on what's going on the channel this coming week. Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about, I didn't really know what to title the damn video. It's about, when you've been working with a spirit and you call it by a certain name, and then you discover that name is actually a title and not a name of a specific entity. And it kind of leads you into a crisis of faith, really. But it happens. It's meant to happen. It's part of growth. And so I just spoke about that. And then this coming Monday, tomorrow, is the book review, Flame in the Cauldron. Monday after is a past series which I'm doing, Rosicrucianism, which I find incredibly interesting. It's where kind of our roots, really, of everything. All right, let's see. Mimilek said, did I say hello to Mimilek? I can't remember if I mentioned you. Anyway, I was almost getting what I asked for from Boone, except ended up one lottery day short from reaching 500,000. Someone else won, but I'll keep playing with the numbers I picked. Yeah, it's actually a good idea to keep playing the numbers, because time's not a real thing when it comes to the spirits. They don't understand it, so you might find that it'll still come up. Who knows? As above, so below is here, and Hubris, welcome. Thanks for joining. Andrea said, Tracy, I might get into trouble if I write it here. Papaver somniferum and wild lettuce, blue lotus. Goodness me. Pan is boiling. Goya, run to kitchen. Don't want you in trouble. It's okay. We can get Andrea in trouble sometimes. But I have had a crisis of my faith in Boone. How come? Why? What happened? I'm going to check what peppers are. I don't know what it is, but I can't remember. Is it? Oh, somniferum. That's going to be some kind of sleeping thing. Somniferum. From the Latin. Okay, alright, yeah. That's quite an interesting mixture there. Cornblood Raven, hello. Thanks for joining. Good afternoon or evening. It's evening here where I am. I don't know about everybody else. Mamalik Bowl, it's exactly related to that winning I asked for $500 million and didn't get to there, but close, and I played the same numbers since that, which I did. This is something that Gordon White actually talks about in terms of, well, Gordon White's mostly focused on chaos magic. But I do remember he actually wrote a very good blog post, and it was specifically this topic of, using magic to play the lotto. And he made a very, very interesting, good point. If you use magic, let's say, just for argument's sake, I mean the numbers are probably even higher than what I'm going at, but let's say for argument's sake that you don't use magic. The chances that you win the lottery are 2 million to 1. Okay, if you use magic, that reduces the chances. So your chances now might become 500,000 to 1. And that's a hell of an improvement from 2 million to 1. But it's still 500,000 to 1 chance that you will win. It's not a 1-to-1 chance. So, you use magic to improve your chances, to bring you closer to a thing. But, in terms of winning the lotto, it's an interesting... I tried it years ago, trying to do magic to win the lotto. It didn't work for me either, but you might get a good winning, maybe not the jackpot, but you might get a good winning because your chances have been reduced and they've been bettered. Yeah, that's why it's kind of like, we use magic to improve our lives, but it helps us. It doesn't solve the problem for us, it helps us, and then we take it the rest of the way, type of thing. In terms of lotto, you can't really take it any further because it's a game of chance. So, yeah, it will help you. You may get a winning. It might not be the jackpot. If you do, great, fantastic. Let us know. Share the money if you want to. Nobody's going to go playing, but yeah. But yeah, that's kind of... It was a good point from Gordon White. Korn said, been working with Astaroth, been enjoying it so far. I love working with, well, actually not Astaroth specifically, but Astarte. I know a lot of people kind of lump them together as being the same. When I spoke to her, it was kind of like that different facet of the same being. So, but I do like working with Astarte. Mimonic, true about a point, but I didn't ask for the odds, but for the numbers. Yeah, I know, but you're still using magic to improve the chances. Yeah, I know we have this whole idea that we can use magic to look into the future, but there's a lot of things at play here. I mean, it's not just the idea that using magic to improve your chances. It's also that there are millions of people who are also doing magic to win the lotto as well, and they may not be doing actual magic, but their thought is focused on fine-tuned, and they have this one-pointed drive to win the lotto. And when you're up against millions and millions of energies all vying for the same thing, it's also a factor you've got to bring in there. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really think magic works with these things. As I said, it can improve your chances, but I don't think you can try. Go for it. But don't blame Boone for that. Not Boone's fault. Matt, hello Matt. What is a circle calling that has all the 72 demons and the 72 corresponding angles? I saw it once and can't seem to find it again and don't know what it's called. I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about, to be honest. I mean, I know you're talking about the 72 spirits from the Ars Goetia, and I'm assuming it's not angels but angels there. You are probably referring to Dr. Rudd. Let me just find the actual title of that book. I think it was Skinner and was it Joseph Peterson that wrote that book? Hang on, let me just find it. It's Dr. Rudd's Goetia. He has it was the method. Oh yeah, the Goetia of Dr. Rudd. Oh, David Rankin. There were two people, I think. Let me just check. It was a method of assigning the 72 Shem angels to the 72 Goetia spirits and working with them that way. It's not something I... What you're talking about. Just let me know if it is or isn't. But yeah. As above, so below, spending nightly meditation in nothingness. The abyss is astounding. It's great to float in nothingness. It's a lovely feeling. Mimilek, well, I'll keep trying. If not, then I'll switch focus. Yeah, no, I mean, it's worth a try. But as I said, I think we've all kind of, most of us have kind of gone to that point where we've tried it, but it doesn't actually work. There's actually some old, and I can't remember, I did this years and years and years ago, so, but I do remember the mention of some old talismans that were specifically for this type of working. Maybe have a look for it. Oh great, I've got error popping up. Let's hope that the stream stays on. Alright, Corn, internal smile and quoting can bring in the nothingness feeling and melting you want. The internal smiling is a very important aspect of a lot of rituals, actually. Yeah, so and quoting, I'm not sure what the quoting is. Let me know what that is. I'll be very interested. Luke, hello Luke. Finding some good news after my struggling from not hearing deities, beings that often, etc. Good, let us know what the good news is. As above, so below, Lee the chat wants to know how much chocolate is in the mix. Also, do you use milk or hot water? There's a lot of chocolate. I put 5 heaped teaspoons of chocolate in and a spoon of coffee, instant coffee, and hot water. I do sometimes, it's really nice if you make it with hot milk and then add a pinch of salt and some cinnamon's good as well. What's the other thing? Oh, nutmegs. A pinch of nutmeg as well is sometimes nice. Yeah, but the hot milk. Yummy. Okay, if I do disappear, just let me know. Actually, let me do this. No, that's not the right one. Do this, and then I can check both screens. Okay. Corn, sorry, was talking about Twigging and opening the orbit of the body to bring the nothingness and softness you want was what I was trying to say. Oh, that softness. Yes, yeah, I kind of get what you started talking about there. Yeah. We're still streaming. Oh no, no, I know. It's just it says error on YouTube, and I've got the performance thing open on the Streamlabs app, and it looks fine. So I don't know why I get error. I'm just checking to make sure it doesn't like drop, because it seems to be doing that lately for no reason at all. Okay. Alright, so what's going on? Oh, Luke, hello. Monday I saw Decoration Rabbit holding a baby. Thought about Artemis. I bought it for an altar. Then I connected with her. We were in the forest talking for 30 minutes. Something incredible. That's good. Good stuff. Glad you're getting some progress with that. Bit slower tonight. It's been past 2 weeks have been hectic in the chat. It's been really cool. As above, have you had a chance to ever read the Emerald Tablets, or at least what we have? I did a long time ago. I actually published at one stage years ago. I was taking old public domain books like the Emerald Tablets and books like that and republishing them in paperback format. So I did read it then. That was a very, very long time ago though, but not since then. John, hello John. What was the first spirit you invoked? Pan. I guess it depends on what you mean by invoked. The first spirit I actually ever worked with was Pan. I did a journey to go and meet Pan and kind of make a connection and ask for a gift, and I was gifted an acorn. When I got back, there was an acorn on the floor. There was no oak trees around me though, so it was quite an interesting experience. There was also a little piece of, it was actually mud, but it must have been petrified because it was solid. I couldn't chip it with my fingernail. I tried breaking some off. It was solid. It was definitely petrified, but it was just mud, which I found really odd. So I kept that for a while. A few years later, they kind of disappeared. I don't know where they went. They do. Power objects tend to disappear after a while. Gills, what's your story on how you got interested in the occult? I think I've always kind of been interested in the I don't like the word supernatural because everything's natural and nothing is super. But the occult, sciences, all of the weird stuff that goes on, and as a kid I was always like loved the ghost stories and whatnot. And then when I was 12, we'd recently moved to South Africa, so I was kind of alone. And I used to spend a lot of time in the public library, and I discovered Lobsang Rampa books. And I kind of enjoyed the whole Xenocard thing and telekinesis and all of those topics as a kid. So that kind of played into that, and I just went on from there. I don't think there was any point that I can say, I wasn't and now I am. It was just a thing I've always been interested in. And I remember when I was a little kid, I must have been about 6 or something around that age. And whenever we used to go in the car, especially when we went fast, I used to look out the back window and it would be like this horde of spirits that were following us, so I used to see them. So yeah, always been there. Corn, what degree are you? I'm not any degree. I don't belong to any tradition or secret society or anything like that. So I'm not. I don't belong to anything like that. So therefore, I'm not of a degree, I can say. Luke, my spirit guardian, is here. Is her companion. She's also with me for a few lives. And 1 year ago, I felt so strong pull for Artemis when I saw her statue, and that's how it started. Everything is so connected. Everything, I agree, everything is connected. Especially when it comes to the deities. There's a lot of synchronicities that go on. Sect, hello Sect, thanks for joining. What other symbols are there besides rune and yantras? Well, I guess it depends what we mean by symbols. I mean, you've got hieroglyphics, you've got Sanskrit, which are all symbolic in a fashion. I mean, even your Hebrew, Arabic, all of this is sacred languages. Your yantras would be your actual visual sigillic type of images. You have your sigils and your seals of the various forms. The symbols are everywhere. I mean, the subconscious itself, or the unconscious mind, speaks in symbols and imagery. And, symbols go back millennia. Your dots, your squiggles, and all such things. Let me just make sure I'm still connected. Yes, excellent connection. Okay. Your dots, your squiggles, all of these things that you see on cave walls and whatnot, it's all symbolic languages. And, symbols make up the cosmos. So there's lots and lots, And I mean, I know a yantra and a mandala also, they get very intricate, very also geometric, but I mean, just 3 dots in a row is a symbol that has a very deep connection to our DNA and history and everything else. So yeah, symbols are quite interesting. Luke said, plus I was the chosen of Athena, some past lives earlier, and since then she's with me. And Artemis mentions that soon, when I will be ready, she will be waiting for me to work more closely. Okay, good stuff. Yolandi, we nearly lost him to Christianity. He was going to be a pastor in church. Who, me? Yeah. I was on that road, but the gods had a different idea. So, yeah. That's the funny thing, actually. I mean, talking about like my history and where my interests lie and where I started and everything, and then there was church came along, and I don't think it was a diversion at all. When I was in the church, I had 2 callings. One was to healing, one was to demonology, and that's what I do now, just not in a Christian format. So I think the powers that be directed me through that specific event to help me grow and develop and everything else. And we talk about the Christian God. It's just a created, made-up thing at the end of the day. Whatever was directing me was the same thing, but just not the same thing as what they were talking about. I don't know, it's kind of weird, strange. Anyway, Sadhex, hello Sadhex, thanks for joining. Are goetic spirits separate or just a part of the human psyche? Yes and yes, they are both. They can be both. They may be separate. They may be part of the psyche. Don't know. This is all dependent on belief, worldview. And everybody's worldview is going to differ. You obviously heard this somewhere, or you read Crowley's Ask Galatia, his version of it, where he actually speaks about the spirits actually being part of the human psyche, and we use the symbols, the sigils, to actually tap into those parts of our own psyche. And yes, that's true. But at the same time, are they separate entities? Yes, they are. Are we the ultimate power? If we take everything in the cosmos, is that the Om-Nil, the all-know thing? And we are just a facet or a part of it, of that thing, that big overall overarching thing, which would then mean that all of the spirits, gods, goddesses, goetic spirits, everything, including trees, plants, rocks, fish, blah blah blah, etc., 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 are all us. So we can argue that because we're all connected, a goetic spirit is also us, and therefore part of our own psyche. Maybe not part of an individual human psyche, but part of the overarching allness of everything. So it depends on how you view it. Depends on your worldview. And I went from one belief to the other belief for several years. I was back and forth. Couldn't figure out which one it was, and then eventually I realized it's both. There's no real difference, actually. So yes to all of it. Alright, Luke, and other great stuff happened one day after this. I can also share if you want to hear. Yeah, no, let us know. It's always nice to share our experiences if you want to. John, I can see the appeal of working with Pan, the creative force personified. Is that why you go by Red Oak, the acorn? Actually, no. That was given to me by King Gobe. So back in the day when we had to have, these pseudonyms, these magical names to kind of hide ourselves on the internet, but it all started with Yahoo groups and whatnot. I was Mabonez, which actually was in relation to the Welsh god Mabon, and I've had that like moniker for a while, and then I changed to Oakman at one stage. I was going down a druid path. I was exploring that, so I became Oakman, and then I sent somebody on a journey to go and meet King Gobe, and she, during the journey when she was with King Gobe, she said to him, Oakman sent me, and he said, oh yes, it's not Oakman anymore, it's Red Oak. And she came back and told me, and the name stuck, and just want to spin the name that I've kind of kept all the years. But I've got others. Depends on what I'm exploring at the time. Jono's here. Hello, Jono. How are you doing? Sex. Any knowledge on incantation bowls? Not really. Just double check. I'm thinking of the same thing you're talking about. It's a very old kind of like prayer bowls and things where they would put the Arabic prayers and stuff in the bottom of the bowl. Also a very Kabbalistic thing as far as I remember. Jewish magic. Yeah, it is the same type of thing. I haven't done it myself, I must be honest. I don't actually work with a lot of talismans and things like that. But yeah, very interesting work, I must say. They look so pretty as well. It's that one where it spirals, the Mandaic language, where it spirals down into the centre. Really cool. And they often, there is here, hold on. There is often a female figure at the centre of the spiralling script, which is usually, it's almost like, as far as I remember, they kind of put the image of a goddess in the bottom of the bowl, and then they kind of write a prayer around it, and it spirals down into the middle, kind of giving it to the goddess. And then, if I also remember correctly, there's a lot of scrying as well. So you would put water in that, and then do your scrying. Yeah. We can Tuesday. I was thinking about another spirit companion, Banshee Shaman type for spiritual journey. I felt suddenly pulled for Cleodna, Celtic goddess of beauty, love, and most likely queen of Banshee. Connected with her, our energy synchronized, so good. Worked so good together. We talked for 20 minutes. I keep connecting with her 3 times. We were in the sea. She's so kind and lovely to me. That's nice. That's cool. I'm glad because I know you were having a bit of difficulty for quite a long time. So I'm glad things are getting better. My screen's starting to flicker again. Really weird. I think it's the software. I don't know if it's what it is. Anyway, Richard, hi Jono, Sad Hicks, hi Jono, Yolandi, I love type O negatives music. They are very good. They are very good. Richard, Yolandi, I agree. The song is especially a great one. Yeah, they are very good. Some good. I just pulled up today's. What's it called again? It's the playlist thing that Spotify does. What do they call it? We'll find out. Daylist. That was it. Daylist. So it's the Sunday evening daylist. Am I buffering every now and then? Okay. Just keep an eye on that. Okay, I'll try and keep an eye on it anyway. Corn. I know when I was a child, Santa Muerte came to me. Sorry, this is doing some weird shit on my end. Just close that. I came to realise that she had many different aspects with the different colours she has. I've been asking her what god I need to work with to get balance. Okay. I do know, I don't work with Santa Muerte myself, but I do know that she can be quite a jealous deity actually, so yeah, just be careful of that question. Luke, thank you. And then when I left C area, I heard her clear voice. I haven't heard something like this for a month, and it was our 3rd connection. I'm so excited how it will evolve. Okay, yeah. Just make sure you're doing your discernment as well, please. Make sure you are speaking to the spirit you intend to, and not a parasite. Just you know, cover all the bases. Hubris, if you like type O, check out October Noir. Oh, I have heard them. They're very good. They're a wicked good type O ripoff. Oh, you know what band I was going to play, and I forgot the bloody name now. They sound like they're a modern band. They sound like Led Zeppelin. Let me see if I can find them. If anybody remembers them, just let me know. There was it. Greta Van Fleet. Has anybody ever heard Greta Van Fleet? Because they are brilliant. Or Greta Van Fleet. I don't know how you say it. Dude, this is quite a good. What? Yeah. There you go. Yeah, Greta Van Fleet. I beat you to it though. Sorry. Hidden Occult Mysticism, hello, thanks for joining. Yolandi, I'm also scared of working with more than one goddess, and I'm scared of jealousy. You know, you do get it with some of them. I know, as I said, I know that Santa Maite can be quite a jealous deity, so you just have to be careful about that. But most of the time I found that they generally tend to work together quite nicely. Depends who you call corny, really. Him, yes, it's him. It's him, it's that him over there. Sappho, hello Sappho. Play the Dropkick Murphys. Oh, they're good. Okay, we've got some requests coming up now. We're going to have to start playing some other stuff. Luke, I'm aware of this. Also realised that my energy is very, very high. Many deities told me about it. So it's avoiding parasites. Still, they are not able to do things like them. A lot of energy works. Okay. Alright, as long as you're covering all the bases and things like that, that's cool. Hubris, Tasty Gems, love them. Alright, well, let's do some musical explorations today. The chat's not as crazy, so we can do this. Let's start with October Noir. Okay. I'm going to write some of these down just in case the chat gets away with me. With me pen gone. So we had October Noir. We'll do some Greta Van Fleet because they're just really good. What was the other one? Dropkick Murphys. That was it. Oh, there goes my screen flash, so let's just make sure I'm still actually connected. Says I am. Blum 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 blum. Lost my place. Yolandi Oomph is also a good band. Okay, we're going to put Oomph on the list as well. We'll do like a few songs of each one. I assume it's Oomph with an exclamation mark. It'll come up anyway. Richard, I have my 2 deities I work with. However, some others do appear with messages every now and then. That's the thing. I mean, I work with. I mean, I think it depends on the person, really. I mean, some people have one deity and that's all they will work with their entire life, and that's absolutely fine. Others have a multitude of spirits they work with. But I think it depends on the person. I have Hecate and Pan, and Lucifer's also, makes up like the triplicity or the trio. But it's not like I get messages from them all the time. They're kind of like in the background and they kind of guide my steps and things like that. But then I will work with the Galatia spirits, or a Hindu god may pop up and want me to work with them for a while. And it's really just to try and pull in that energy that I need at that time. So you've got the 3 sitting in the background, kind of guiding everything along, and then you've got the ones that come in and kind of bring in an energy that I need at that time, and help the progress and everything else. So yeah, that's really kind of how it works for me. As I said, other people will just have one deity for their entire life, and they can call on that deity for all aspects of life. It's not like, I think a lot of people kind of get the idea that you have to go to this deity for this thing and this deity for this thing, and because they're different deities. Yes, and partly that's true, but also it's, you can stick with one deity for all aspects of life. So yeah, it's just the way each person prefers to do things. Sadhex, I just saw Luna just popped on. Hello Luna, thanks for joining. Jono's here somewhere, very quiet tonight. Sadhex, Is magic connected to ethnicity, culture? Can a white guy work with Indian deity Kali? Would it become upset with me because I'm not from her faith, ethnicity, so to speak? This is a very, very tricky question. We have the aspect of cultural appropriation, obviously, but what we do find is that the gods themselves, they may cross the cultural boundaries. But it also does not mean that just because a god approaches you from a different culture, it doesn't mean that you can appropriate culture. That god or goddess will make sure of that. So, for instance, if a lower Papa Legba, for instance, comes to you and wants to work with you, then it's the deity, I'm going to call them gods, the lower. They have crossed that cultural boundary, but it doesn't mean now all of a sudden you become a Bakor and kind of teach voodoo or anything like that, because that then becomes appropriation. So but at the same time, if that does happen, try to get involved with the culture, try and reach out to people in that culture, and quite often if you show interest and you are genuine and you approach it gently, then a lot of cultures will accept you and bring you in, and then you become part of the culture and you contribute. And so there's all these things you have to consider. But in terms of the Hindu faith, there are some Indian people who feel that white people should not be part of Hinduism, but there are a lot who just envelop it. They just take you in. It's the boundaries are kind of like dissolved. There's a great many Hindu sects that actually feel that they should the Hindu technologies and ways, the practices, the yogi ways of doing things should be passed through to everybody, and we should all evolve and all become enlightened and all of this stuff. So when it comes to Kali, Kali is one that a lot of people reach out to. In a sense, it can be a good thing. In a sense, it can be a bad thing. I mean, we kind of got this the bad part of it with Blavatsky and the Theosophical Society, and yeah, she was involved in the Hindu culture and trying to help it along. But at the same time, she got such a big head about it that she believed that she had all the answers for the Hindu people, and they had to come to her for salvation. And she was a Russian, so it becomes very, very difficult. So she kind of took the yogi technologies and screwed them up, introduced them to Western culture, but didn't get everything right. And there's a lot of corrections that have needed to be made over the years. But I think nowadays there's a lot more people actually getting more involved in the actual practices themselves and understanding. Not just cherry picking. Again, this comes back to this cherry picking idea. Take this thing and take this thing, but we don't like that thing over there, so we're going to leave that alone because it doesn't look pretty. Even though it's part of the entire culture and it should be included in order to, understand the entirety of that culture. I think more and more people now are actually immersing themselves in the cultures and understanding them a lot better, and then teaching them to other people, and doing it in a proper manner. And I'm specifically revolving around Hinduism here. But yeah, it's a very difficult and tricky topic because there's so many toes you can tread on, and becomes difficult. So yes, you can be done. Just be careful of how you go about it. That's what it boils down to. Landia Apocalyptra is excellent. Okay, put that on the list. Lots of bad. We might not get to all of these today. Apocalypta. Apocalyptica. Okay, there we go. It's an excellent mixture of classical instruments with rock metal. Okay, cool. Right, we'll switch over just now. Oh, bloody hell, me chat just skipped. Oh goodness, there's lots and lots in the chat now. Alright, Luke, it's probably, nothing, or probably nothing, but I will ask for your opinion. In one desk, I have big altar for Artemis next to her Athena sigil, then Hades, Milano sigil. If it's okay to put Cleothna sigil in this desk too. She's with different pantheon. This is, and I've mentioned this before, that it's something you have to experiment with. Even if, just because you are bringing two deities together from the same pantheon doesn't mean that they're going to get along. There have been, throughout mythologies and histories, there have been tales of gods fighting with each other. I mean, I'll just go to the Greeks and have a look at the Titans and the Olympians. Perfect example. They're from the same pantheons, or from the same culture, from Greek culture. So it doesn't even matter if you bring two deities from the same pantheon; they may clash, they may not work together. It's a case of introducing that energy to the rest of them, and then see how things change. If things still feel okay, the energy still good, then cool. Then the energies can mix together. If you put this new energy on the altar with the rest of these entities, and all of a sudden it just feels bad, it feels aggressive, it feels conflicting, then the energies don't work together. So, Hidden, I'm a newbie. That's cool. That's cool. I'm a newbie as well. There's a lot of things I'm doing that I don't understand. Many things. So we're all newbies in a sense. So don't worry about that. Ask questions. If you need to ask questions, and we'll, it's the answers you get might not be something you're looking for. It may be confusing, but it's worth taking the answers you get, and from a variety of different people as well, and just taking some time just to meditate on it and figure it out for yourself at the end of the day. As I said, everybody's got their own a different worldview, and that's something we need to discover for ourselves. But you can only develop the worldview if you are asking questions, getting multiple answers, sifting through those answers, trying to figure out for yourself, and then asking other people about that, putting it forth, saying this is my worldview, and see if it holds up. If somebody comes along and punches a hole in your worldview somewhere, you've got a bit of work to do on it. But then you carry on building it. So it's just something you do for the rest of your life. So just carry on asking questions. Yolandi, I work with Lilith and Archangel Michael, but Hecate is also starting to try and get my attention. I just don't want Lilith to be upset if I work with Hecate. Yeah, Lilith, I have heard, can be one of those jealous entities, but it's best to... I mean, if you work with Michael to begin with, the two of them, then, it's probably okay with that. But I would... the obvious answer is to speak to Lilith directly. Just ask. And I don't think Hecate would be calling out to you if Lilith would have a problem. I just get the feeling that the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, they wouldn't really bother doing that if there was going to be a problem in the first place. It's just my impression, anyway. But speak to them directly. It's the only way. Can't really answer that for you, actually. Luna's here. Hello, Luna. And Jono says hi, baby, to Luna. Passing on the messages again. And he said hi. Tracy at Satex. You may have been close to her in a past life. Possible. It is possible. I think we kind of have our tribes. We all come back to them, and that includes people, gods as well. So yeah, that's my worldview. See, this is a problem. My worldview is going to differ from everybody else's anyway. Hidden, why we have to work with deities, can we work by ourselves? Absolutely, you don't have to work with deities. And how you work, if you do work with deities, how you work with them changes as well. I think everybody gets the impression that I work with the spirit model because I talk about spirit so often, but I actually work with the energy model. So when I call in a spirit, I'm calling the spirit because they vibrate at a particular frequency, and I want to resonate at that particular frequency in order to do some work. So it's all about energy for me. But you don't need to work with deities at all. You can work with yourself if you can work with the good folk if you want to, the fae folk. There are particular rules that you need to follow in that regard. They can be quite tricky to work with, but very rewarding if you do. But you don't have to work with them either. So yeah, you can just work with yourself. You can work with your own energy. If you want to incorporate the energies of the elements or the planets, whatever it is. There's a whole smorgasbord that's my word today, smorgasbord of things that you can actually pursue, and it's immense. So it's all about finding how you work best. I have a mosquito flying around, bastard. Sappho, I work with both Lucifer and Azazel, Lilith and Hecate. Good combination. Well, yeah, there you go. There's a combination of Lilith in there as well, so Sappho has success with them all together. Okay, let me switch over the music so we can play this one. Oh, there's only 2 songs in, but let's see. Apocalyptica. I'll see if it comes up first. What? I don't care. That's their most popular song, so it's on the playlist. It's the first one that pops up. With a cherry on top. Okay, well there you go. Got the cherry on top. All right, I'm crossing Apocalyptica off the list now. So we'll get to the others. Corn from. Oops, no, it's skipped. Hold on. From working with Santa Muerte, she has worked with Astaroth and lets the Lady of Guadalupe on her altar. But after 30 years of working with her, I've grown accustomed to her energies. Okay, yeah, if this is what I say. I mean, you have to go speak to them. I see a lot of people kind of asking the question, can I do this with the spirit? Can I do that with the spirit? And really, it's a case of talking to the spirit. I don't think anybody can answer most of these questions for you, because even if you work with the same entity, I think 2 persons' experiences are going to be different. So it really is a case of talking to the spirit directly. I mean, it's the same thing as ask the same question of 5 witches and you'll get like 6, 7 different answers. It's just we all have different experiences. Sappho, guilty as charged. Sometimes seek Kali for cleansings. Yeah, I go to Leviathan for some good cleansing work. But Kali's great because Kali eats your karma. So very good one for cleansing. Yeah. Sad Hex at Tracy. I want to try mantra to make magic stronger, but a bit worried that what it wouldn't work because I'm not part of Indian culture and it may become dangerous for me. I wouldn't say it become dangerous. It probably just won't do anything because you don't understand the culture. It's a good idea to immerse yourself in the culture for a while. I was called by Vishnu, and whenever something like that happens, I seek out the culture. I get introduced or try and introduce myself to them. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes they are really shut off. But the Hindu cultures are very, very open, usually. But then immerse yourself in the culture. Join a satsang. Go and listen to a Swami, reading the Sanskrit scripts, the Bhagavad Gita, and all of that stuff, and get involved in the community. And you can do that online. I'll put a link to Sri Ma, because their community is just amazing. Don't really get involved much anymore, but had some very good experiences with Sri Ma, and she's just her and Swami Satyananda. They're just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people. I love them to bits. So go and have a look. The website's looking a bit wonky again. Still looks like it's you can get around it, but go and have a look at this website. Go through it, learn as much as you can. There's a crap load of information on here. If you go into free classes, there's a load of video classes in there where Swami Satyananda's chatting about all stuff. And then you can actually join the satsang. There's a daily satsang via Zoom, and just sometimes the links on here aren't kept up to date, so go and join their Facebook group as well. They've also got a Telegram which they're very active on, so have a look for the Telegram and go join that group, and then you should be kept up to date with everything. Alright, so yeah, go and join the community. Immerse yourself in the Hindu culture, immerse yourself in as many of the teachings as you can get, and understand it. And then go down the road of Kali, and understand Kali from different texts and things like that. And read all the old texts, the Rig Veda and the Bhagavad Gita, etc., etc. Worthwhile. Gills. Hello, Gills. What's a fetish? The way it's used when describing creating servitors or golems. Right, so this is a fetish. It's often actually described as being an African thing, African practice. It's a statue, a figurine, usually, that the energy of the entity has been placed into the statue. That's really all it is. So, depending on how you create your servitors, and usually this actually comes down to either ancestors. Ancestors are actually brought into the fetish in an African sense usually. But I mean, if you're coming back to Hinduism, if you witness a puja where they actually place the energy of the deity into their statue. I've done it myself with Ganesha, and it's incredible. I mean, yeah, the statue doesn't get up and walk around, but you get a sense that it's not just this fixed solid thing. There's life in it, and it's a very incredible experience. But if you're doing servitors, you can, depending on what your servitor is created for. I mean, I've created some that go out and never come back. They feed on the energy that they're creating through the work they're doing, so they don't need to come back for feedings. But others, they may come back, and you may want to house them. And you can house them in a statue. I had one that I used to. It was this really. We actually saw a picture of one the other day, and I can't remember where the hell it was. It was like this real bumpkin kind of, one tooth, hair all over the place, but it was this really cute figurine, and I actually created a servitor to go and find lost things. Whenever we'd lose our keys or something like that, you'd go and speak to it and say, please can you bring it or find it for us, and then it would find it and bring it back. But it was kind of housed in this statue because it was something that we just wanted to keep around the whole time. So it depends on what you're doing with your servitor. All right, carry on. Andrea, back. Been listening from the kitchen. Good stuff. Is Alistair still not in the kitchen? That's sad. Sex. Is Lilith part of the Hindu culture? No, absolutely not. Lilith is... Okay, so the origins of Lilith are a bit difficult, speculative. It's usually mentioned it comes from the Hebrew traditions, and it's usually referred to as the eater of children and babies and things like that. There is speculation, and it's my belief as well, that Lilith actually predates the Hebrew, going back to the Sumerian with the wind demons. And when we're talking about the wind demons, they were masculine and feminine, so there was the Lili and the Lilu, but it was multiple demons, it wasn't one entity. And these were kind of ruled by Pazuzu. And then at some point we had Lamashtu, who was, I don't remember, the consort of Pazuzu, but was very destructive in nature. But then we had the Lilitu, which kind of evolved out of this Lila Lilu type of wind demon thing. And at some point it became this singular entity which evolved into this thing which became Lilith. So it was a bit of an evolution, and Lilith has continued to evolve. I mean, the Lilith that people speak about today are, being the very, very feminist kind of spirit, champion of women and things like that. Very, very different to what people would have considered to be Lilith to be, centuries ago. But so I think all of the deities kind of evolve through our cultural displays and whatnot. Sect, you also said, I know she's a demon. But yeah, there's actually a really good book by David Thompson. He's actually written quite a few good books. He has some good perspectives here and there. But he wrote one about Lilith, and it's from the perspective of Lilith as a demon and Lilith as a goddess. And kind of separates the two and explores them from both angles. I think it's a really good exploration, so go and have a look for that book. It's quite good. Luke, from what I found out, Artemis Athena, like Hades and Athena, also hung out with Melno, so these four are totally fine together. I was feeling the same, but most likely I will ask all of them and her. Yeah. It's better to go speak to them and ask them directly. Sappho, she belongs to Jewish mythology, even referenced in the Bible. Yeah, that is it's the place that people usually go. And there is this thing lately that people who kind of worship and follow Lilith are misappropriating or culturally appropriating the Jewish tradition. That's a bit of a difficult one, I think. I don't know how to say. I mean, my belief is it goes before that. Richard, I have a feeling the dark goddesses work well together and don't mind if we connect with them all. Lilith, Hecate, Mother Kali, and so on. It's quite possible. And I mean, also you've got to think of this. As I said, it comes back to worldview again. Some people are hard polytheistic. Some people are soft polytheistic. So if you go into like Wicca, that's duotheism. So it really all boils down to worldview again. I mean, if you are soft polytheist, you're probably going to lump all of the dark goddesses together. And consider them to be one entity, just with different names. It could be a case of a goddess with different faces or facets or masks or something like that. So it depends on worldview. But we're going to come back to that. Right, hang on. I'm going to change the music. The next one on the list was I'm going to leave Greta from Fleet till last. Because I like them a lot. Murphys. Oh, there we go. No, I've got to actually type it up there. Dropkick Murphys. Murphys. Try and type it right. Okay, this is Dropkick Murphys. Oh, you'll see it on the screen anyway, I'll change. Alright, where was I? So I forget which passage though. Yeah, there's a lot in the Jewish mythology about Lilith. Actually, interestingly enough, what were they saying again? I might actually be able to find it. You know, in regards to Lilith being the wife of Adam, the original wife of Adam before Eve. Oops, no, not that. It's actually quite a modern thing. It only came about in like the last couple of centuries. Hold on. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, go away. It won't be this one. Bloody hell, my computer's slow. No, I don't know where it was now. But it was actually a pretty modern thing, and there was a certain reason that it was created. Damn it, lost it. I'll see if I can find it again. I'll go through what the person was saying, because it was actually really interesting. But let's carry on for now. Thanks, pleasure. Andrea, Tracy, the oh, this is a long time coming. The TI makers only for when paint is really bad. There's a problem with tolerance and potential abuse with the main ingredient. Yeah, it will be. Thought I'd best point that out. Absolutely. But if it helps, it helps. And if you've got it in control, that's good. Aesthetics, it's a pleasure. Jono, Bhagavad Gita is incredible, better than Barden. That's something coming from Jono. Explains how energy and karma actually work. My favourite translation is the one Gandhi did while he was in prison. Oops, hang on. The Gita also covers the concept of ultimate divinity and universal consciousness. I must read that thing again. You know what's actually better than reading it? Is listening to a Swami sing it in Sanskrit. It's just, I mean, I don't understand a word they're saying, but man, just to listen to that, it's incredible. It really is. It's an experience and a half, I must say. But anything, I mean, not just the Bhagavad Gita, but all of them, all of the different texts and tales and whatnot. Very, very, very cool. Andrea Alistair has bone idol, it is. That prevents him from cooking, cleaning, gardening, etc. Oh no. Share the link to Lilith's site, please. I can't share it. Which Lilith site are you? Did you message me? Hold on. Just send it on WhatsApp. I'll just put that over here. Oops. There we go. Just send it to me on WhatsApp. There is I do remember there being a Lilith library or something. I can't remember the name of it now though. Mimalek. I just remembered who else can help me with lottery gambling. Hieronymus. Oh yes, yeah. You mentioned him once. Yes, definitely give that a try and see what happens. Andrea, yay, thankfully. Cupcake Murphys are another great one. They are, I love them. I haven't heard them in a long time actually. Sect, any idea how Jews worked with her invocation, etc.? You probably find they didn't, because she was considered to be a demon. They would ward against, and all their magic would have been contra to actually working with them. Hidden, I listened on YouTube, many people speak that Earth magnetic poles are shifting and some new era is coming. Is that true? They do shift, the poles do shift, but don't think it's going to be an overnight thing. The zero gravity theory came about years ago. I mean, I'm talking when I first heard about it, and as far as I know, it was before I even heard about it. When I heard about it, it was about 25 years ago, and it was a whole conspiracy thing. It's going to happen in the next year or something. It's only going to be like 300 years or something before it actually happens. But the poles do shift. I'm not entirely sure what happens or how it works, but it is a geological thing. I don't know. Yeah, if you do want to go research that, just kind of sift through and discern the good from the bad type of thing. Alright, let's share this website. Oh, is it the VK Johannem one? No, I'm thinking of a different one. I'll have a look for it now because it's got tons and tons of material, books and everything about Lilith. Alright, so this is the VK Johannem tag for Lilith. I'll go have a look for the other one just now. It's called Lilith's Library or something like that, I can't remember. They even say some gods reincarnate will come, something like that. Are we still talking about the zero gravity theory? I think gods reincarnate all the time, to be honest with you. They walk amongst us more than we realise. I mean, have a look at the Hindu. The avatars of Vishnu, the avatars of Shiva, they've through the ages they've been coming and going. We're waiting for is it the 9th avatar of Vishnu? It's apparently going to bring ultimate peace or something. I can't remember now. Call on Saturday and sorry, hold on. Just coming back to that gods reincarnate. If you actually go and follow Sri Ma, she is considered to be the reincarnation of Saraswati. So, yeah, you might want to pay attention to that part. It's very interesting. And yeah, I actually consider her to be reincarnation of Saraswati as well. There's something about her which is absolutely amazing. That's the website. Okay, here we go. Library of Lilith. That's the one I was thinking of. Really good site. Alright, what's going on here? Alright. Oh, goodness, where's my chat just gone to? There we go. Saturday, a new moon in Aries with a solar eclipse the same day was an interesting energy change. I felt. Didn't really feel much of an energy change myself. I did do a ritual, obviously. Kind of avoided the eclipse though. I hope. Yeah. Didn't really feel a shift. Although, I must say, I haven't been feeling too great the past couple of weeks. And I feel a lot better today. All the symptoms seem to have cleared up. So, I don't know if it was my cleansing ritual I did last night, or whether it is a shift, who knows. But as long as I'm feeling better, that's fine. Hidden. Many sects tell about reincarnation. Yeah. Especially when it comes to the gods and stuff. I mean, we can also talk about bringing the topic of the good folk here, the clay folk. They walk amongst us more than we realise, and we wouldn't even know it. So and there's lots of stories I was told from a Kabbalistic perspective of angels actually, kind of knocking on people's doors and asking for some food or lodging for the night or something, and the person would let them in and give them some food and a bath and a place to stay for the night, and then they would be rewarded afterwards. But just look like normal people, like beggars off the streets. So interesting. John Rivers' only shift I felt since this weekend is I really don't care anymore. 2 of my doves died. Oh no, sorry about that. Yeah. General energy is don't care anymore at the moment. It's just general energy because there's so much crap going on in the world, to be honest with you. Andrea, we all fractals are the creative force of the universe, in my humble opinion. Yep, I agree with that. Very much aligned with my own worldview. Jono said, Luna and myself felt a very big energy shift over the past 48 hours. It's like someone opened the curtains in a dark house. Okay, so lots of people are feeling the same thing, that's good. Corn, when I worked with fairy folk, I worked with the Morrigan and Catchy. Cool. Morrigan's a very interesting triplet. Right, now it's gone quiet. There we go. Okay, let's do a change in music. Okay, who's next? Oomph. Right, this is Oomph coming up. Here we go. Luna also felt my cat's claws and teeth when he tried to off me this morning. I'm sure you did. And yeah, I'd like Alistair's energy to shift to the kitchen. Oh my word. Andy, how do you remember all these names? I struggle to remember who Lilith's lover is. Which names? I can't remember now. Well, Lilith had a few lovers. And if you take the perspective that Naama is the younger Lilith, then you've also got that to include as well. Oh, here we go. Corn said Elstorm is a good band. Alright, so put that on the list. Elstorm. Okay. Remember, like, my mum asked me to use energy vampirism on one of her enemies today. I'm trying to teach her to do that herself. Sorry, stray hair. Being a hitman is not a thing for me. I have my own enemies. You know, I think people kind of ask a bit too much sometimes. Landy, of all the deities, kind of worked with them for a long time. Heard about them for a long time, so I suppose I remember them. Which is actually kind of weird because I don't remember people's names half the time. Wolves of the Seas, Ailstorm. Alright, should play them just now. Pirate Metal. Oh, cool. Okay, alright. But I may do it for that one exception. Still needs more energy to recover. Okay, up to you. Sedex. In book it says, I will make a spirit offering, raw meat. Is it safe to throw away or will offend the goetic spirit? Where should I store offerings, not raw meat, for spirits if I have limited space? Okay, so you don't have to offer raw meat. It's usually one suggestion and it's dependent on the spirit. Some spirits don't like raw meat at all. But I don't know which book you're referring to. But yeah, let me know which book it is. Curious. But so generally in regards to offerings, if they are food offerings, you can keep them on an altar. If you have limited space, you only need a space enough to place it can be a small bowl. I mean, it doesn't need to be a huge meal. So it can be a small plate or a small bowl, and usually a glass with something in, water, usually often, and then a candle. That's the space you need, right? And it can be high on the shelf. If you're going to include a candle, obviously don't put it in a bookshelf where you are burning a candle and it sets light to the shelf above. Yeah, all the usual fire hazard stuff. But yeah, it doesn't need to be a big space. I mean, you've also got a wall. If the shelf is up against a wall, you put pictures on the wall and things like that as dedications and all that stuff. Bold Cadman. Don't really like him myself. Yeah, I think he misses a lot of stuff. Especially, you say it's for beginners, I know, but yeah, it's Bold Cadman and the other one. The one I hate. Now I've forgotten his name, because I hate thinking about him. Who's the other one for beginners? Everybody goes, because it's such simple stuff, but he's a plagiarist. Damon Brand, there you go. Yeah, absolute plagiarist. Anyway, so getting back to offerings in general. So, if it's, as I said, you don't have to give raw meat. It can be, there's a lot of correspondences for the different entities. So just go and have a look for what other people are doing. Best thing is to ask the spirit directly. Absolute best thing. You can use a pendulum for this if you want to. You can go through various food groups, it says yes, and then start breaking that down even further if you want to do it that way. But yeah, definitely better to go and ask the spirit directly. But food offerings you can put on the altar. You can leave them there for a few days. If it's accepted, what you'll probably find is that they will it's like the moisture gets drained out of the food. It doesn't go moldy. If the offering isn't accepted, it usually starts to go moldy or gets maggots or something like that. And then after that, you bury it outside. Drink offerings, same story. If it goes moldy, it probably hasn't been accepted. Try something else. And with drink offerings, they tend to go down quite quickly, a lot quicker than normal, because they're being drunk. But they're again onto the garden, into the ground, pour on the ground outside somewhere. There are other offerings such as you may do petition or a sigil, or it could be a candle offering. It could be something. If it's something you can burn, that's usually a good way to dispose of the offering, is to actually burn it as a votive offering. So you've made the offering, they've taken the energy, and then you go and burn it, which adds another kind of level to it almost. So as you burn it, it's a votive offering again. So the smoke kind of goes as the offering, etc. So yeah. But as I said, you don't have to give raw meat. In fact, I don't think I have ever given an offering of raw meat. It's usually cooked, because I put in the effort to actually prepare the food for the spirit, which is part of the offering, part of the the preparation of it. So yeah, I've never ever given raw meat. I assume some would like it. I haven't come across any in the Goetia that want raw meat myself, but each to their own. Corn, have you worked with the Japanese spirit before? No, I haven't. I haven't connected with the Japanese culture in the slightest. Apart from the fact that I am a Reiki practitioner, that's about as far as it goes. But that has nothing to do, no connection with spirits or anything like that. So no, absolutely not. Why is my screen flickering again? Okay, anyway. Andrea, Jono, Unfortunately, I have fibromyalgia, I love that word, and CFS. It would be easier to cook myself. Okay, well, there you go. Kerry's here. Hello, Kerry. Thanks for joining. Andrew, clean, wash, gardening, plumbing, etc. Right, and that brings us to the end of that chat, so let's carry on now. What else are we going to talk about? Let me just go back and see if there's anything I missed. Oh, I did miss something, hang on. Oh, John said, Andrew, I don't want to labour the subject, because I imagine it makes some people uncomfortable, but sex magic is still the only way. Sex magic solves everything, yes. Okay. Everybody's busy in the kitchen. Tracy's busy in the kitchen. Okay, I think I covered everything now. Melanin98, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining. When working with a Parthenon, I assume you're saying you mean Pantheon, should you speak the rituals in that language? It's kind of considered to be respectful, yeah, because if you are working with, instead of using the word Pantheon, I'm going to use the word culture. So, you know, if you are working with spirits from the Greek culture, therefore Pantheon, it's kind of respectful to speak the language, or at least understand some of it. I mean, I'm terrible with languages. I cannot pick up languages in order to speak them. But I may go and explore particular words, phrases, and things like that, which are used in conjunction with speaking to the gods. I'll understand what it means. I'll go and find out how to actually properly pronounce it, because that's another thing. You know, if I think a foreigner coming into a new land and trying to speak the language, it's respectful that they are making the best attempt they can, but quite often the inflections and the accents and things are a bit different, so it may sound a bit funny to the actual natives, but at least that they're trying, they're doing the best they can to kind of understand the language. So it is respectful, let's put it that way. Do you have to speak the language in order for them to understand you? No, because I think when you speak into the spirits, it's more of a, or the gods at least, it's more of a telepathic connection. You speak to them with thoughts and images, they speak back to you with thoughts, images, impressions, feelings, and all of this stuff. You know, not actual verbal words that you hear. So, you know, but yeah, as I say, it's respectful. Really that. Kerry said the Book of Abramelin, is it only for summoning the HGA? It's its main purpose. It also, it's really about, I would say, it's really about uniting your soul parts. The HGA in this respect is only one part of that process. There's the lower demon and then the guardian angel. So there's two parts of your soul already, and then different interpretations of it really. But then after you have commanded the spirits, the infernal spirits, you then reach out and ask for your four familiars, and I believe those are also part of your soul. So I personally believe it's a ritual to unite all parts of your own soul, and you don't have to do it Abramelin to do that. There's many ways to do it. Wait, hold on. Oh, here we go. John, what would come down to using the Japanese or Chinese customs or not when working with Japanese or Chinese spirits? Basically, oh, that would come down to using. Yes, yeah, it would. Again, it's understanding the cultures, immersing yourself in the culture itself. Hubris, yeah, meal prepping myself. Violet, best 75. Hello, Violet. I'm going to go. Thank you for your time. It's an absolute pleasure. I hope you have a good week. John, all about intent. Yeah, it's a bad phrase, though. Melanin, okay, thank you. Greek is hard. Yeah, actually, this year I was going to try and learn Latin. Last year I tried to learn Greek. I just can't. It's just one of those things that I just cannot do. I cannot learn languages in order to speak them. I make a good attempt. I try my best, but just can't. But as I said, I mean, if it's particular phrases, I learn how to pronounce them as best I can. You know, even though I do have accent, which makes it sound a bit weird to the native Greek people and things like that sometimes. But do my best. Landy, from what I've seen on other channels, it doesn't matter if you can't speak that deity's language, they will understand you. Yeah, they'll understand you. As I said, I mean, you don't actually... Speaking to the spirits, you don't actually speak verbally. You may sit there and talk to them verbally, but the communication is actually not verbal. It's about using your entire being to talk and to see. It's not just about the verbal aspect. And I think it's, we were talking about on Friday that there used to be a time, this was thousands of years back, a time when we didn't use words. We just communicated, and I think that's kind of like what we have with the gods. It's not really language, although we do use language ourselves because that's what we're used to. It's the same thing of we kind of give the gods a humanoid form because it's how we interact with people, and therefore it just makes it easier for us to interact with them that way. Alright, I'm going to change music to Ailstorm. Rot. Where was I? Sadex, I thought there is something funny about Bol Cadmon, no offense. Everything is too simple to work effectively. What alternatives for beginners? Is path working okay? Corwin Hargrove. Yeah, so you've got people, as I said, like Bol Cadmon and Damon Brand that just kind of strip all of the meat, the flesh out of magic and trying to simplify it. There's a lot of other people that do it as well that aren't so bad. Theodore Rose, Lucifer and the Hidden Gods does it. But there's just so much that goes missing. There's history that disappears, and there's all the mysteries, the connections, all of these things that people have been trying to keep alive for millennia. All of a sudden, just like, oh, we don't need that. Let's just strip it out because it's a waste. I don't particularly agree with that. I like to simplify magic, but at the same time I need to understand it before I can simplify it. So, if I am teaching, I will teach the entirety of what I know, and then you come along and you start simplifying it, but you can't really simplify something. There's no understanding of what you're doing at the end of the day, and that's what I find difficult with these particular authors. Apart from the fact that, as I said, Damon Brand's a plagiarist, outright plagiarist, so we don't even go there. Corwin Hargrove is also good, followed very much the same route as Theodore Rose with the particular path-working method. Whereas Theodore Rose with Lucifer and the Hidden Demon, Lucifer and the Hidden Demons went the direction of the spirits from the Abramelin. Hargrove went with the Goetia spirits, created that path-working method, and it works. It really does work. But at the same time, again, there's a lot that's stripped out. I mean, Theodore Rose, for instance, says that you should not give spirits offerings; they don't need it. Just showing up and doing something for you is good enough for them, and I think that's just rude. It's just disrespectful. So there's a lot I don't agree with. I have tried the methods, and they, as I said, they work. But you're missing out on a lot of history and stuff. So what is good for beginners? It's difficult to say. I mean, beginner stage, if you haven't been through all the foundational stuff yet, you need to do that. That's just, everybody should do that. But it doesn't matter which direction they go, whether they go in the direction of spirits, working with spirits or not working with spirits. All the foundational work should be done anyways. So that is your meditation, your concentration, focus exercises, trance work, which all of this really you do with meditation anyway. But trance work, one-pointed focus, protection, cleansing work, energy work, definitely energy work, manipulation, building up energy, moving around, and all that stuff. So all that foundational stuff is very, very important. You can get that in a multitude of different places. If you go onto my Patreon, the Temple of the Lord Serpent, that's really what it's about. Is doing the foundational work, understanding magic, and then you start working with a different, at least the fetch piece, the lower part of your own soul. You unite that into, bring that into union with yourself, and start to work with spirits and ancestors, because it's, you know, the ancestors are usually a good place to start with if you start with spirit work, because they loved you in life, they love you in death, and they will be there to protect you and guide you, and not bring harm at all. So your ancestors are usually the best place to go. So yeah, it really is. Depends on the direction you're going, but at the same time, everybody needs to do their foundational work first, and then start with the rest of the stuff. I don't know if that helps or not. Who asked for Ailstorm? Because I assume you do like the pirate metal. It's quite fun, I do enjoy it. Kerry says, it's a pleasure. Trace, hello Kerry. Yolandi, besides, what language do I use for Lilith if not English or my home language? This is why I say, I mean, you're going to talk to them verbally. It's not really how you communicate with them. Through talking with them, you also send out thoughts, impressions, feelings, and everything else as you're talking, because the emotions come along with it. All of the thoughts are developed as you're talking. Thoughts are created. That's what gets transmitted. So it's not necessarily the verbal speech, and they don't talk back to you in a verbal manner. But when you are doing work with a particular deity from a particular culture, it's nice to kind of give a greeting in their language, for instance, where they came from, where they originated from. You know, again, back to worldview. And polytheism. If you're a soft polytheist, you may not consider a particular god to have or to come from one specific culture, because you know that god is universal. It's just that each culture had their own name for that god or goddess. So again, that comes back to that. So we can't put anything into a particular category, obviously. John, Hebrew. Yeah, I tried learning Hebrew as well. I know a few things that I've picked up over the years and things that keep getting repeated, but other than that, I have to keep going checking the alphabet. I'm just terrible. I really am. But yeah, when it comes to Hebrew specifically, because I was taught practical Kabbalah, and so I do a lot of things with Hebrew, like vibrating the god names and things like that. So pronunciation for me becomes very important, like in that regard, which is why, you know, if I'm reading something, I don't say Archangel Gabriel, and I don't say Archangel Michael. So I have to really forcefully remember how to say that. It's Javriel and Michael, and that's how I was taught to pronounce them, and this becomes very important to me. So if I'm saying something in Hebrew, I will go and find out how to actually say it, how to pronounce it as best I can, and then, do it. As I said, there's a lot of inflections in languages that are quite difficult for some people, especially me, to kind of figure out, but I try my best. Kerry, the First Amendment rally went well. That's good to hear. Talked with legislators and visitors to the Capitol building. Highlight was catching up with legislator friends on family and current events. Good stuff. Glad it went well. Yolandi, John, she is older than that. Yeah, but that's what I say. Some people think or have the understanding that Lilith started with Jewish, whereas it's speculation. But I believe that Lilith started with the wind demons, the Lili, back in Sumerian, connected with Pazuzu. But that's I don't think we can really prove one way or the other. Absolutely, anyway. That's just my understanding, anyway. So you can try and go back to the Sumerian, Mesopotamian, Babylonian, Akkadian, all these cultures, and see if you can pick up some of their language. As a greeting, really. John, as are all gods, so you make a great point. Yeah. Well, you say as are all gods, but we also have to consider the gods of the gods. That was actually something interesting. Oh, the book review is tomorrow. Something actually, there's a verse in the book review. It's Flame in the Cauldron, Orion Foxwood, and there's a saying that one of his teachers gave him, that witches, I can't remember exactly, witches follow the gods that created man, which I thought was quite cool. Kerry and Tracy having a chat over there. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the next chat and it keeps skipping on me. Andrea, like learning music art, it's good to know the understanding and whys and wherefores. Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think when we sort of get onto something new, it's a good idea to immerse ourselves as much as we can in it, doesn't matter what it is. Learn it. Don't just kind of skim the surface, really get involved, Well, Tracy, I hope your surgery comes about very, very soon, and there's no problems with it. I just saw an interesting interview with Morgan Freeman. I saw this as well. He doesn't believe in a god. He also sees that he is a god. Yeah, it was actually he does believe in God, but he doesn't equate God with religion, which I thought was really cool. He believes in himself, and he believes he is God. And yeah, I thought that was a really, really good response to that question. It was brilliant, no doubt. Kerry Agaris and I have been thinking of you, Tracy. Yeah. I think we're all thinking of you, Tracy. As I said, I hope the surgery goes well when you finally get there. Sedhex, you said about energy work as a foundation. Is it a middle pillar ritual, bonus, god ritual, LDR, or you mean something else? Yes, that and everything else. Energy is energy. It's not really confined to a particular ritual or anything like that. You can just sit and build a ball of energy between your hands, and then put an idea into it. You can, if you've got somebody you actually do magic with, and you're practicing magic with, it's actually a really good exercise to build each, sit opposite each other, build a ball of energy between your hands, and then put something in it, put an emotion in it, and then throw it at the person and see if they feel the emotion. It's actually a really good exercise. But yeah, energy is energy. Energy is around us. Everything's energy. And energy is vibration, so everything's vibrating. So everything sings. Everything has a particular song to it. Each little quark within a subatomic particle, within an atom, within a cell, has its own tune. It vibrates at a frequency. So, that vibration is the creation of energy, and we can move it around. We can play with it. We can push it towards things like a candle flame, push energy towards a candle flame and see if you can get it to kind of go a bit bigger for a little while. And then at the same time, it's about circulation of energy through your body and getting it circulating properly. But it doesn't need to be the elaborate Golden Dawn and Thelema exercises. It can be Qigong, it can be yoga, it can be Tai Chi. My personal favourite is Qigong. And getting the energy flowing properly in the body and all of that stuff. So, but then if you are doing complex rituals, middle pillar, I wouldn't really include Bornless God ritual. The headless one rite is... it is energy work, but it's not really movement of energy. It's the connection with your own holy guardian angel. But the LBRP, the pentagram rituals, the hexagram rituals, all of this stuff is about working with different energies, particular energies, bringing them in, pushing them out, moving them around the circle. That flow of energy, getting it moving. So yes, it also includes that, but energy work's huge thing, absolutely massive thing. I'm just going to change, or check something. I'm going to change the music again. Alright, let me do this quickly. I'm going to do the Greta Van Fleet. I do like them. If you haven't heard Greta Van Fleet, and you like Led Zeppelin, you're going to love this. This is a modern band. That's when my computer decides to work. Hold on, I've skipped everything here. Hold on, let me just do this. Okay, let me try and find out where I was in the chat, because it's skipped all over the place again. Andrea said to Yolandi, that's very much how I see things. Tracy, who do you invoke? Who was that in reference to? Sorry, I lost you there. Just let me know, or let whoever know. Steve, hello Steve. Have you ever done past life regressions? Not really. I haven't. Don't know why. Just loads of people are interested in finding out what the past lives were. I've never been interested really. So no, I haven't. Kerry, we're hoping for a quick recovery. At Tracy, yes, we are absolutely. Yolanda, you expressed it better, thank you. I'm not sure who that was in reference to either. John, what is the point of being a god if he cannot change man's world? Which god are you talking about, and why should God change man's world anyway? Why can't man change man's world. So yeah, Andrea said that's what we do. That's why we learn magic, to change our circumstances, to change our world. And yes, we have a lot of forces that work against us when we are trying to do that. But it's about strength of will. Sadex, Kerry, sorry for late response. I was thinking about answers. Best wishes, stay healthy. John, we're just making marks on Mars' surface, basically. Okay, not really sure what that's in reference to, but anyway. Yolandi at John, we all change the world whether we are aware of it or not. Our actions have a knock-on effect. Absolutely. Everything we do just alters what's going on. I mean, you move your arm, it's a movement of energy, so it's a bit like the idea of the butterfly effect. A butterfly flaps its wings in China, and on the other side of the world there was an earthquake or something to that effect. Andrea, albeit we cannot get Alistair to do housework. Sedex said thank you to me, that's a pleasure. I'm starting to lose the plot now, so I can't remember what it was for, but anyway. Corn, the machine spirit doesn't like you, Lee. Which machine spirit are we talking about now? Oh, I've lost the conversation. Tracy, Kerry, I've got a good reason to like candles tonight. Kerry, Tracy, good reason. Girls, have you noticed a high degree of brief in the apocalypse by those dabbling in occult and or drugs? Not really, no. I haven't noticed anything to do with the apocalypse, actually. It's probably all the shit that's going on in the world. The first thing that people go to is the apocalypse that's coming. But, yeah. Andrea Gremlins. Is there something wrong with the stream or something? Am I missing something there? It says excellent connection over there. John, so really our effect on the world is just causality. No godliness here. Yeah, I mean, part of it is causality. But as I said, this is why we learn magic. In traditional witchcraft, we call it overcoming fate. If we do not do anything, then the energy that the path that we are following will just continue the way it's been created. But if we do something about it, if we use magic, then we overcome fate. And we move things around, we change things. And it's not huge, major, drastic changes from one thing to another, complete opposite, thing. It's subtle changes that you change as you go. But that's understanding of magic. Saad Alamiri, hello, thanks for joining. Kerry said at Tracy, I looked away for a moment and thought I missed something. I feel like I've missed a load of stuff. I'm going to have to go back in the chat now and just see if I missed a whole chunk of it. Gil's belief. Let me read that again just in case it changes the whole meaning of the question. Have you noticed a high degree of belief in the apocalypse by those dabbling in the occult and or drugs? Yeah, okay. As I said, it's I haven't noticed, as I said, but it probably is just, there's a lot of shit going down at the moment, and it's usually the one place that Westerners go to because it's what they're used to doing. Just the idea that the apocalypse is coming because shit's hitting the fan. Cornetch, John was taught we were all part of God and we are sent here to learn and lead your PC machine spirits. Yeah, I still don't know. Is there something going on with the live that I'm not noticing? Seriously. Yeah, and that whole, the worldview, we're all part of God. We're sent here to learn. It's an absolutely unacceptable worldview. Andrea John, are you suffering from depression? serious question with respect. Yeah, it's an absolutely serious question. Trying to curse someone, he is now on his third car, is that not being a god? John, I get the impression you're quite nihilistic all at the moment. I'm so sorry, my man. That's not a fun place to be. I've learned to find contentment and even happiness making scratches on Mars. What's the scratches on Mars? Am I missing something here? Hold on. Let me go check this. Is this like a phrase I don't know about or something? No, I just brought up literal scratches on the surface of Mars. I don't know. Somebody's going to have to explain that one to me, obviously. NJ and other gremlins have gone. Okay, alright. I'm assuming there was something wrong with the stream at some point. It happens every now and again. My internet kind of goes in waves. Anyway, girls, aren't the Enochian angels supposed to do work, but in exchange they bring us closer to the apocalypse? I don't really know. I don't follow the Enochian thing. I was going to take this year and actually do some deep dive stuff into the Enochian magic, but it's really not something that I'm interested in. I try to go in, and it just doesn't grab me at all. When we're talking about angelic forces, they are forces of nature. So, but what is the apocalypse? Is it just the ending of one stage and the beginning of a new stage? And we can't really talk about Revelations because the whole thing with Revelations, it was a historical event that's happened. It's not something that's a prediction that's coming. So, what is the apocalypse actually? Don't know. Corn. No, just that it lags a bit, then mess up sometimes. But yeah, no, it's probably my end. As I said, my internet kind of goes through these dips and whatnot. Melanin, is it okay to leave my statue in the living room? My room stay dirty. Well, first of all, okay, it's okay if the statue, a deity statue, is in the living room, but your room shouldn't stay dirty. This is part of the cleansing aspect of magic. If we immerse ourselves in physical dirt, it becomes energetic dirt, and that starts to affect us in negative ways. And once that begins, it starts to accumulate and snowball. Negative energy attracts negative energy, and if you've got pockets of negative energy in a dirty space, you're going to start picking that up onto yourself, which is why we do cleansing work. And if we start to pick up that negative energy, you're going to start attracting astral parasites also. So it's very important to keep your environment clean as well as yourself energetically. So physical dirt and energetic dirt go hand in hand. I often find that if my environment, if my kitchen, this usually ends up being my kitchen for some reason. But if I just feel like I can't keep the kitchen clean, it just keeps piling up and just cannot keep it clean, I know that I need to do some additional extra energy work to clean my space, clean me. It's just one of those signs, those indications. Luna's stream has gone down a couple of times, but only for a few seconds. Okay, as long as it doesn't disconnect. I was using OBS previously, I'm using Streamlabs now. It seems to be better, because that thing just disconnected. But, as long as I come back and it doesn't end the stream, that's the good thing. Elandia buffers every now and then, sometimes the image is stuck for a second. Okay, oops, hang on, skipping again. Yeah. Don't know, I think it's a metaphor for the futility of life, coined by John. Good metaphor. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. It's quite an interesting way of explaining things. Kerry, Enochian magic. Take 2 tablets and call me in the morning. Yeah. It's just, and it depends if you're doing the traditional D method or you're doing the more modern interpretation with what the Golden Dawn actually developed. It's 2 different approaches, 2 totally different approaches, and but they're both just so involved and complicated. And I can't even start because you need a gold ring. I don't have a gold ring. I cannot get a gold ring, and the whole setup and the temple, and it's not even worth me even venturing down that route, to be honest. Yolandi, I don't think Enochian magic is going to be an easy subject. Absolutely not. No. Andrea Lee, John thinks we are just making scratches on Mars as a way of saying nothing we change does matters. I think. Okay, alright, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know, how can you guys take Dee and Kelly seriously after the wife swapping thing? What's wrong with the wife swapping thing? This is actually an interesting thing, that whole wife swapping thing, how different people kind of viewed it. So yeah, I mean, Kelly got the message that they have to switch wives in order to continue with the work and everything else. Maybe Kelly just liked Dee's wife. They were humans. They had human needs. So who gives a shit? As long as they had fun. Don't really give a shit. Yeah. John said, I'm saying people have a misconception about what being a god is. That's fine. I think I'm assuming you're referring to being a god as in what is usually referenced in the left-hand path, and the idea of becoming a god. It's really about advancing yourself to the point where you have control over your own circumstances, and you can do magic to change your own life, to better it, to get more knowledge, or whatever that looks like for you. A lot of people, some people go for the pursuit of money, other people don't really care about money. It's more about just having a comfortable life. And there are bigger things in the world that a singular person may not be able to affect. You may need an accumulation of energies. But if that's what you're referring to, a person becoming a god. If you're referring to deities in general, why do you think they even care? We're humans. They don't exist here. They don't exist on this plane of reality. Sure, we talk to them, we ask them for help, we petition them, we use their energies to use in our own magic and things like that. But I don't think they actually really give 2 hoots about our human existence and what's happening here. So again, somebody else will come along and give you a completely different answer. And are they wrong and I'm right, or I'm wrong and they're right? Neither. It's worldview. So it depends on your beliefs. Gills, their magic works that how we can take it seriously. Okay. Sorry, I lost you there again. The Enochian angels. The magic does work. Yes, it definitely works. But so does other magic. And this is the thing, you can kind of like look at these very, very complex Enochian workings, and they do something and it works. But then you go out and get a folk magic witch who just does a simple charm and it works. I think it doesn't really boil down to if it's complex or if it's simple. It's a matter of can the person work with the energy, and if they can, it works. Andrea at Jono, yep, you said it better. Corn at Melanin. I got in my hearth of my home. And cleansing your space will affect you, or the spirit you work will make things happen around you and your family. LBRP, GBR will help you clean the houses. Yep, agree with that. But yeah, no, keeping your environment clean is a very important thing. Part of magic. It's why we have a besom. To clean a space energetically, but also it's a broom, so we sweep the house out, get rid of the dust and the dirt. Sadhex at Jono, D and Kelly are the reason why I haven't joined Thelema yet. No reason why you shouldn't join Thelema. Yeah, they do work with Enochian, but so do a lot of other people. It was Golden Dawn that really started the kind of modern movement of how to work with the Enochian magic. So, Thelema is a lot more than just D and Kelly and Enochian. So, it's not for everybody, but it is for some. Andrea at John Rivers, what's your concept of it then? John said it is incomprehensible, removed from this world, a driving force, life, creation. I think it's an ego thing, calling yourself a god. Okay, that's fine. I think we're all gods and goddesses, and we're all the Omnel. So, game, worldview. Andrea, John, ineffable. We are fractal representations of the all that is. Game, worldview. Yolandi is not an ego thing, as a fact. We affect our surroundings and other people every day. Unfortunately, again, worldview. This is going to differ for everybody. John, in that case, I would not venture to set someone back 3 cars, lest I find myself set back 4. Again, worldview, perspective. How you understand the world, how you see the world. All different for everybody. Tracy, the planet herself is a god. Yeah. Gaia, the Earth Mother. Kerry, I wish we could get a Satanist perspective on this, the perspective of oneself being God. Yeah, that's going to depend on the Satanist again. Worldview. Is it a theistic Satanist, an atheistic Satanist, a non-theistic Satanist, all going to have, again, different perspectives. And the idea of oneself being God is not just confined to Satanism. It's a broad thing. Where am I now? Sard, hello Sard. I see I got a Mars planetary talisman and it has scratches on it. Holy synchronicity. That's quite interesting, actually. It was mentioned the scratches on Mars, and you've got the Mars talisman with scratches, literally. Andrea, Yoli, exactly. I rescue, rehab, and release wildlife, especially pigeons. Andrea, you know me well enough that I don't curse easily, and don't do it easily. No, if somebody has done wrong, then they need to be put in their place sometimes. Tracy, I was reading and reciting Michael W. Ford's Luciferian Points of Power every day. It helps. Don't like Ford myself, but again, that's just me. Jono, Uncle, have you read Israel Regali's books? A long time ago, yeah, but he's brilliant. Like the whole thing, I'm a bit too intimidated by how much is in there. Are you talking about the Golden Dawn book? Yes, I have read it cover to cover. And it really is, I mean, most of it's just rituals. It holds the initiation rituals and things like that, which unless you are actually part of the Golden Dawn, it's useless. Actually, I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff, especially when you get to the references, the correspondences, the planetary magic, and all of that stuff is really valuable. But you know, page and page and page after page of initiation rituals just means nothing, because I'm not going to be initiated into the Golden Dawn. So, yeah, and they're really convoluted. I mean, 3 hours. I heard that initiation ritual in Golden Dawn takes like 3 hours. Just not for me. But yeah, no, I mean, Regardi's books are brilliant. Garden of Pomegranates is amazing. I actually want to get that again because it's a really, really good book. But Regardi's books are brilliant, they really are. John, are you saying one can choose to not see or acknowledge the worldview of the threefold law? Yes. Why not? I don't hold the worldview of the threefold law. I'm not Wiccan, so why would I? We are all individuals and we all hold different worldviews. I'm not a Christian. I don't believe a hell exists. A Christian hell. It just doesn't exist for me because I don't hold that in my worldview. For a Christian it does. Therefore it is real for them and it's a real thing. So worldviews are different. We have this physical world and we kind of expect everything beyond it to relate in the same way, but it's different. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dimensions, and we just are these little people in this 3-dimensional existence who move in time, so 4th dimension. But I mean, why can the cosmos in its entirety be infinite? Every person is their own universe, their own cosmic event. They are a worldview. And what that worldview looks like is going to differ. And two people might have similar worldviews. They overlap. They believe in the same things. They are both hard polytheists and they both follow the Greek pantheon. And they both do exactly the same rituals and they both do exactly the same things every day and they do the same meditations. But somewhere along the line, the worldview is going to differ somewhere. Everybody has their own worldview. So I definitely don't follow the threefold law myself. Andrea Yolandi, haven't offended you. Really sorry if I have. Not you. I'm tired of certain people. I think they know what happened for me to curse them. John, where does karma fit into all of this? Is it dead? No. Karma can be a real thing. The New Age understanding of karma is false. It's wrong. It's not this idea of I do something and therefore I'm going to, I do something bad and therefore I'm going to get something bad back. It's cause and effect. You do something and there's an effect, but if something's done to you first, then the effect is that you do something to that person. Balancing, keeping everything in equilibrium. Karma is an incredibly complex concept. There's many different types of karma. It's not just your own personal karma within this lifetime. There's personal karma through lifetimes. There's also family karma, cultural karma, societal karma. It's incredibly complex. It's not as simple as you might be thinking it is. John, oh yes, the Golden Dawn book. Yeah, no, it's a monster. But yeah, as I said, most of it I think it's useless, really. You kind of better reading Donald Michael Craig. What's his book called? What was it? Modern Magic, was it? Donald Michael Craig's book? Check. Or, as I said, one of the other Regardi books. But the Golden Dawn book really just holds the rituals and papers of the Golden Dawn teachings. Modern Magic, that's what it's called. That was a good book. Actually, if somebody wants to start with ceremonial magic, that's a great book to start with. Modern Magic by Donald Michael Craig. Landy at John. Oops, it skipped. Hold on, let me scroll back. A curse for a good reason. Who are you to judge what I did without having facts? If you mess with my life and cause me loss, I will curse you. John, an eye for an eye. Andrea, got you. Corn, from my experience, John Rivers. You keep coming back over and over till you get all your karma correct. The thing with karma is, it's not about releasing negative karma, it's about releasing all karma. And then we go into a state of moksha. And that's good and bad karma. This is why I say it's such a complex thing. You know, it's an entire system belief on its own. So, you know, Yolandi, I'm not the Oprah show. I don't give curses to everyone in the audience. All right, so John, everybody, when it comes to cursing, if somebody does something to you, what do you do? If somebody, I'm going to take an example, and quite an extreme example. Let's say somebody comes along and rapes your mother. What are you going to do? Are you just going to sit back and say, "Oh, I shouldn't do anything because, you know, whatever reason," or are you actually going to do something and give them what they deserve? So yeah, sure, an eye for an eye. If it's deserved, do it. If it's not deserved, don't do it. It's really that. And you know, if somebody comes along and says, "I'm going to curse my work colleague because they looked at me funny yesterday," that's not deserved. That's just pathetically stupid. So I know Yolandi, and when Yolandi says that she cursed somebody, it is for a damn good reason. I'm not going to say what the reason is, but I do know it was for a bloody good reason. So it was justified, it was deserved, and you know, if we're going to argue about it, then we're not going to get anywhere. But it's what it boils down to. Is the work you're doing justified or is it not justified? And if it is justified, do it. Go for it. Okay. Okay, someone caused me to lose something I love dearly. It's cursing. It's my first curse ever. I thought it was cool. Ivan, hello Ivan. Thank you for all that you do. In your opinion, which Ask Galatia demon helps you to organize? Thank you in advance. Don't really know about organization. I would actually just call on Saturn, to be honest with you. Saturn is the, you know, put it in its place type of thing, the organization. Can't think of a Goatious spirit, but I suppose we could bring in the aspect of procrastination here. I would have a look at AIM, or AIM, as some people say, AIM. Might be quite helpful for that. Very kind of fiery energy, fiery spirit. And might help with the organizational aspects. But yeah, I would actually just really call on Saturn for something like that. Kerry, I'm forever putting my foot in my mouth saying awful things without thinking. I'm so sorry for defending. I don't think you did, Kerry, no. I won't worry about that. Sedex, thank you for Modern Magic book recommendation. It really is a good book. Oh god, the chat's skipping. Where's the chat going? I'm pretty sure I just saw a load of messages disappear and they weren't deleted. Oh, they were. Okay, here we go. Not sure what's going on. Why is this chat not showing that? Okay. I'm going to go over here then. Okay, let me try and get back to my place then. Yeah, okay, so Modern Magic by Mike. It's an old book, but it really is a good one. Corn, Janet and Stuart Farrer books are good to pick up. They're also, if from a Wicca perspective, excellent sources. I've got A Witch's Bible, just 2 books in one. Can't remember the names of the 2 books now, but they are very good. As I said, from a Wicca perspective. Yolandi, definitely not you, Kerry. You lost something you loved. Agoras and I might be able to return it to you. Hold on, let me scroll, make this screen larger because I can't bloody see anything on this one. Right. I'll be praying for you. Oops. Nice words. Thank you. Carry buffering. I'm buffering again. Sorry. As I said, it drops. I'm actually dropping. I'm starting to slide down my chair, I think. Sit up properly. Okay. Not what I wanted. Video is back. Okay. Okay. Yeah, John, I think you should stop now. I think you have, because you've been deleting messages. Girls, what's a good resource for planetary magic? What can this kind of magic do? A good actually, somebody actually mentioned this in comments this past week. 7 Spheres by Rufus Opus. He's an excellent magician, or was an excellent magician. Don't know if he's still alive. But he did write a book, 7 Spheres, which is great. I need to reread that one actually. My go-to with planetary magic is usually, it's called Planetary Magic by Dennings and Phillips, which is a great book. It's a brilliant resource. And what kind of magic can you do? So you align with the planetary energies, and depending on, you can align with the planetary energies on the day of the planet and during the hour of the planet. So you kind of align with the energy, which empowers your magic a bit. I'm trying to think of some examples. So if you were to, for example, let's do love magic. So if you were to do a love spell and you did it on a Tuesday, you might find that the spell itself has more of a passionate energy included in it. If you do it on a Friday, it's going to be more of a romantic and beautiful aspect, energy to it. So the outcome might actually end up looking quite different. So because Mars is, Tuesday is the day of Mars, and if you were to actually do it during an hour of Mars on a Tuesday, you're going to double up again on the energy. So if you do the same spell working on different days and during different planetary hours, you'll probably find the outcome's the same, but different in subtle ways. And this is why I would say you work with the planetary energies, is to align with those particular energies, to enhance and to amplify your own magic. I would suggest Planetary Magic by Dennings and Phillips. It also kind of gives a aspect from different angles, from different viewpoints, and different cultures. So it goes through various different entities that were connected with the different planets through different cultures and traditions and religions, from the Greek and the Egyptian and Roman, etc., etc., etc. Jono said Modern Magic by Craig is a masterpiece. Everyone in the other community I'm in just call it the Big Blue Book. Really? I know the Big Blue Book as being Ray Bookland's what was the name of that book now? Because we called it the Big Blue Doorstop usually. Hold on. Let me write that. Right. Complete book of witchcraft. There we go. Because it's a big blue book. It's a big book and it's blue. And that's why we call it a big blue book. Or usually the big blue doorstop. Yeah. Although, yeah, okay. Modern magic is also blue, I suppose. Trinity, hello Trinity. Good to see you well. And you, thanks. Kerry, John deleted this message, thank. Ivan. Another question. Have you ever incorporated magic squares in your rituals? These are boxes with numbers that add up to a number on all sides. I know that's a weird question. Not a weird question, it's a valid question. The planetary Kamias. Yes, I have. And there's various ways you can actually work with the Kamias. You can just use the square itself. And there's actually an interesting method of doing that. If you go through, I'm going to bring up another good book name, Paul Hewson's Mastering Witchcraft. Is that the method he actually works with, and it's a really good method. It's one that a lot of people work with. But I reread the book recently, and I've forgotten that actually, we kind of work with it that way. Is you don't just, you kind of like don't. You've got the square, so you take like the square of Saturn, which has, square of Saturn has 3 by 3. You don't just do the first number in the first block, then the second number in the second block, and then the third number in the third block, and then go on to the next line and do that. You actually, because the numbers are scattered, you go a lot around in the order. So you start with 1, and then you go to 2, and then you go to 3, and you kind of, as you go, if I remember correctly, there was a phrase that he kind of spoke, or a chant or something. Can't remember now. So you do 1, you draw the number 1, and then you focus on something, and then you do 2, and you focus on it again. You do 3, and you focus on it again, and it really connects you to the energy of the Kamea and the planet. But then, I mean, as you would know, the spirits and the intelligences, their sigils are actually created from the Kameas. So to work with them as well is another aspect. I haven't really gone too deep into the original Hebrew lettering in the Kameas, but that's another level you can work with. So, they're potent things, quite powerful things. Also, sorry, if you go, I can't remember what it's specifically called. If you start going down the rabbit hole of these magical squares, it goes into mathematics, which originated in China, and these particular squares, because there's, the way you can add the numbers up vertically in a column, you can add them up horizontally in a column, and they're all going to come up with the same answer or final number. So it's actually a really, really interesting exploration if you start going down that. And as I say, it goes into the Chinese mathematics and all that stuff. Quite cool. Gills. Blue brick is lieber, aber. Isn't that? I'm thinking of the blue equinox. Yeah. I think there's lots of blue books that were called bricks. John, damn, you're right. It's a confused book. Okay, all right. So it is the big blue doorstop. Yeah. Trinity, hello. And Hubris said yes. Rufus Opus is still very much alive and kicking. Okay, all right. I wasn't quite sure there. He's got a great YouTube channel and has recently put out his foundational courses for free on his website. Nice. Definitely worth a look-see. I'm going to have to go look at that. I'll just put this up here. Rufus Opus. Hubris. Rufus has also been on Glitch Bottle. Highly recommend that podcast. Still haven't bloody listened to it. To anyone who hasn't listened yet, I keep thinking I'm just going to listen to the podcast and I never get around to it. Your Mercury retrograde. Yeah, well, I'm going to blame Mercury on blame everything on Mercury. It's still in the microwave. Kerry at Hubris, Love Glitch Bottle, good channel. Glandy, I think I can come back over here, it's easier, although now I can't read anything over there, damn it. Eyes need to adjust. Yolandi, I would like to apologise for losing my cool, everyone, but people were commenting on things they do not understand, and I had it. Thank you for your support. You showed me everyone. That's okay, no problem, no worries. Melanin, I almost forgot to ask, have dabbled in werewolf magic. Have I dabbled in werewolf? I have touched it, and it's actually only really because my my own power animal, my fetch beast, my lower self, is wolf. So I kind of like went down that avenue. But you know, it's, I think when it comes to things like lycanthropy and vampirism, and you know, the whole Therian community, there's the aspect that kind of just take it to the fantastical side, and then there's the aspect which has some worth to it. The difficulty with lycanthropy and werewolf magic is that it has a very strong connection with neo-Nazism. I can't really tell you exactly where that comes into play, but just, you know, if you do go exploring werewolf magic and lycanthropy, just be careful which sources you're picking up, because you could. The Thule Society and all of these neo-Nazis have infiltrated. They've kind of bled into various groups, and they've done it so subtly that a lot of people aren't aware of what's actually going on. So just be careful of the sources there. But I think there is some validity to it, especially the Therian communities. But as I said, it just sometimes some of it gets into the fantastical aspects, and it's difficult to discern what's what, really. Okay, yeah, no, I've got that. Alright, Sarge. Your natal chart has to be correspondent in planetary election. Most important, you don't want any opposition. I'm not an astrologer, so this gets lost on me completely. But yes, if you are doing planetary magic, it is a very worthwhile avenue to go down, is astrology. Because if you can align things, align the planets with what's happening in your chart, again, whole nother level. You know, you might decide to work with Mars during the hour of Venus. Coming back to the love spell thing. Because you want a romantic relationship which has a lot of passion in it. So you might like pick the hour of Venus on Tuesday, the day of Mars, but not realizing that there's certain alignments in your chart that kind of contradict what's happening at that time. So yes, it is a very worthwhile avenue to go down, is astrology, to understand your chart and check out planetary elections and things like that. But that's also a very intense avenue to go down. So yeah, but yeah, depends on you. It all goes way over my head, to be honest. Oh wait, we're still playing this Greta Van Fleet. Let's go back to, hold on. Let's go back to some playlists so we can get some bit of a mixture. While that's loading, Yolandi, the groups that follow the Norse gods have the same problem. They're fighting hard to get the Nazi element out. Yeah, the heathenry it's infiltrated so badly that it's difficult. And the problem is, a lot of people start out in these with this kind of knowledge, and haven't been told yet, and don't realize, because it's just you don't, half the time you don't see it, you don't realise it, that it's just this Nazi infiltration. And you start talking about things, and all of a sudden somebody comes along and says, why are you saying that? Yeah, it's difficult. Alright, let me go back to this. John said it's nice, Greta. Yeah, no, it's a great band. Really like it. Let's put this on shuffle. Play this. Okay. Type 0 negative. Everybody likes that. Carry out Sarge. It's time to actually finish the live. I'm starting to get sleepy. What's wrong with opposition? I like a good challenge. Yeah, it's not really a challenge. It's kind of like sit your ass down and don't do anything because nothing's going to work. In that respect, anyway. All right, I'm going to finish today's Covenstead. It's almost my bedtime, so let me just check this out. John said September Sun. I'm assuming that's a band. I haven't heard that one. Trinity, what book would you recommend for beginning to learn astrology for witchcraft? Oh, goodness me. I've always shield from it. It's so complex. I don't really know myself. What you can do, I'm just going to put a link to Into the Wildwood. We're not on there anymore. We're not doing lives anymore. But I will put a link because I spoke a lot about astrology, especially some of the more recent ones we did. So just go through the playlist in the live section, and you'll probably get some good book suggestions there. I know she did. I know. Oh, sorry, they, not they. Sorry, they. There were various people who did ask for beginner recommendations, and Kai did speak about them a lot. So yeah, go and have a look for that. Wait, what am I waiting for? Okay, tell me what I'm waiting for first of all. Okay, good night, Lee. Good night, have a good one. Thank you, have a great night. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, recommendation, I think. Wait, let me just read the message. Don't go anywhere, anybody. Esau Oakmond and his sister designed some beautiful oracle cards with Norse runes on them. Oh, sorry, I thought this was an astrology book recommendation. Alright, they're looking for crowdfunding to get it released. It's a beautiful deck. Okay, we've got a link. Oh, sorry, I see I got a message over here. Send the link quick and I'll post it for anybody who's interested. So most people haven't gone yet. Alright, we're saying goodnight. Luna said thanks all, and it's on TikTok. Okay, so have a look for Esau Oakmond and his sister, and on TikTok. And cool. Alright. It's always worth helping with these Kickstarters. Always good to support the communities. Luna said thanks all, and total over typo. Saw him live. So nearly 30 years ago. Show off. So great lives. It's a pleasure. Hubris. I love Esau. Amazing artist. I think they funded that project in first 24 hours. Cool. Yeah. It's good when people get that support. Alright, thanks everybody. I'll see everybody next week. I'll preload all of the month's Covensteads, so you can go and click the remind me button. Okay, Kerry's asking for the link. Have you got the link, Landy? And I'll just pass it on. Ivan, I just downloaded a Planetary Hour app on iPhone. I use it for magic. Yeah, I've got one on my Android, and very handy. Otherwise, you have to sit there and work it out, and it changes daily. Well, not so much daily, but you know, from season to season, it changes quite a lot. So the apps are easier. I'm so glad we have technology. Right, I'm not getting a link. Yeah, go and have a look on TikTok. Just do a search on TikTok for the name, and you should find it. Oh, you were meant to say totally love typo, not totally over typo. It's a very different conversation. All right, we'll send it next week anyway. Okay, I'm gonna end now and.